Welcome to the NeedleBugg. My name is Karen, and today I thought we would do a bit of stitching on Fred. Fred is so close to getting a finish. I just need to switch my glasses here, and we will commence stitching in a momento. But first, I'd like to say welcome to everyone, and thank you for joining me today. Welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you find something here that you like and enjoy, and will continue to come back. And to all my folks that have been with me, thank you so much for continuing to hang out. We always have such a... Okay, let me see. Oh, hold on. I didn't mark something off here. No wonder I'm a little confused. Okay, that's not unusual. I am, as you see, color completing now on Fred because I only have 115, well, not even 115 anymore. I only have 106 stitches left of this color, and then I only have, let's see here, I think it's 4 more colors to complete. And once I complete this color, I should be, well, not quite, but down in the 2,000 plus stitches to finish. So it is coming along. It's not going to be that long, and Fred is the only thing that I have been working on for, I'm going to say, the past several weeks. I have not missed a day stitching on him this month. Now, did I do 200 plus stitches every day? Some days not. Some days I was lucky to do 100. Then again, some days I did over 300. So to me, that kind of evens it out in the wash. But yes, I really would love to have this, oops, missed the hole, to have this finished by the end of the month. And you know, that's really sneaking up on us fast. Because what is today? Today's the, I want to say it's the 21st already. Time flies. It just seems to, it seems like July just started and now it's almost over already. I just don't know where the year has gone. I just am having a hard time wrapping my head around that. It goes by so fast. And not that I have a deadline for this. I have a self-imposed deadline that I really, really, really would love to have it finished. And my self-imposed deadline is to have it finished before the end of the month. Now, is it a big tragedy if it's not? No, it's not a big tragedy. You know, the goal is to have it finished and made into a stocking for Christmas. So I say there's plenty of time, but the way time has been flying, one doesn't want to take that chance? And just in case you are wondering, when I get down to the last, I don't know, somewhere between 50 and 100 stitches to go, we will do a live road to the finish. I will start a live stream and we will finish Fred together, because so many of you have been so faithful in watching Fred grow and being encouraging and all of that. So yes, I very, very much want you to be part of finishing him. And I will try very hard to make it at a time and a day that I can catch most of you. You know, that's the hard part with time zones being such that they are. It is really, really hard to find a time that suits all the people that would like to be part of that I'll call it a finishing party. It's very, very hard. You know, when you think I have people here in the States, and there's how many time zones in the States? I mean, between me and California, right there is 3 hours difference. My European friends, whether it be London or United Kingdom or the Netherlands or somewhere, they're looking at 5 to 6 hours different. So even if I do earlier in the day so that I can catch people on the other side of the pond, then my California people, it's way early. So even if I go on at 11 o'clock my time, which is Eastern time, well, in California, that's only 8 o'clock. Yeah, that's only 8 o'clock. So, and yet, if I go on at 11 o'clock for my people across the pond, that's 12, 1, 2, 3, that's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So it is a very difficult thing to adjust. So I'm thinking when I get down to those last stitches, rather than just go ahead and finish it, I'll wait till a weekend and do a weekend journey to the finish video. Because then people won't be, well, I shouldn't really say that. I wouldn't say people won't be at work, but people work weekends these days. But my chances of getting more people who would want to be here is greater if I wait till a Saturday or a Sunday. Yeah, it's just a fun game to figure out when is the best time. You know, I could just say, oh, the heck with it, I'm just going to figure out the best time for me, which is certainly within my right to do. But I have so many people. Oh, thank goodness my air conditioner shut off. I have so many people who have been so supportive and so encouraging that, you know, you want to include them. I want to include all of you that have followed this journey along the way. Because, yep, it has been a journey. It has been work on Fred, put Fred away. Work on Fred, put Fred away. Fred got ignored for quite some time. And then when I got him back out this time, well, we've been pretty consistent with trying to get him finished. So why is my pattern keeper being a little funky monkey here today? Do any of you ever, when you're trying to mark off stitches, and I have already cleared the cache, did that optimizing thing, and when I go to mark off my stitches, the icon that's the marker turns red, and I get a red spinny wheel that keeps saying initializing. I don't know what that is. I have not a clue what's going on there. So I just did restart the tablet, but maybe it needs restarted again, but I will kind of bear with it for now, and I'll do that after we're finished stitching together. Let's see. Oh, we're down to 85 stitches left of this color. So, whoops. So this might be the last strand that I need. We'll see. We shall see. And I know I don't have you zoomed in as close as I normally do. If you guys could see how I am set up today to stitch. I am. And it's quite lovely that I can do this. I am sitting in my recliner chair with my stand pulled up into the recliner chair so that I'm sitting here with my feet propped up on the recliner in a very comfortable position to stitch, which I am quite happy about. But fortunately, the contraption that I have for my phone, I could swing it around and be able to film. Now, I don't have it set as close as I would normally, because for me to change that, I have to physically get up and go to the computer and change the screen. But at least you get to see a little bit of Fred getting finished. Like I said, it might not be as close-up stitching as you would like, but I'm almost finished with this color. And when I switch colors, I'm going to have to go up here to the top again. And I want to be able to have it all in view for you. So I can do that by just nudging the camera. Or it's not a camera, it's my phone. Nudging my phone just a wee little bit. And we should be able to accomplish that task. Yeah, it is a challenge sometimes to get things set up to record. Gets to be quite challenging. And like I said, it makes it a little more challenging because I am sitting in my recliner. So I'm not sitting at my computer as I normally do. So it's not the easiest setup to get around to do things on the computer in my recording software because I can't reach it. And I have one of these Stream Decks, and I have it set up where I can just press a button and start the recording, and I can press another button, or I can press the same button and stop the recording. But I'm having a hard time setting the rest of it up to like change the sound or change the scenes or do some of the other things that you can do with a Stream Deck. And I have the gist of how to do it. It's just that when I try and do it, it doesn't work. I'm missing something or doing something wrong, and the manual that I downloaded isn't really helping me a whole lot. So today I'm just kind of making do with what I have and what I know and what I'm able to do. So we'll see how that goes. And we're almost finished with this color. Yep, there goes that red circle again. I don't understand that. I don't get it. Okay, let's see here. Oh, there is some way. Oh, there's some way over there. Okay. Now, I will tell you, I am doing these big honkin' jumps. And I am not I'm not being a good little stitcher and turning to the back and working my thread in to get over to these areas. Like, did you see that? I just went from here to over here. Now, I'll tell you why. Because in my color completing, I made the decision to go from the least amount of stitches of the colors that I had left, to go from the least amount of stitches to the most stitches. Okay? So think about that. The color that I will be doing last has 1,400 stitches. Okay? So the likelihood, with that many stitches being left to do on that last color, the likelihood that I am going to be stitching over all those thread carries is rather great. Therefore, I don't mind doing these jumps because chances are they're going to be covered over. They're not going to, okay, there is going to be some that go over areas that have already to this point been stitched, and they may not be stitched over. But for the most part, the carries that I will be doing are going to have stitches over them. So with that in mind, I don't get upset about having or about carrying my thread. I see it as it's not that big a deal. The other thing is, besides the fact that they're going to get stitched over, it's being made into a stocking. There's no way anyone is going to see the back. Plus, when I make it into a stocking, in order to make the assembly of that easier, I put fusible interfacing on the back of this. And I will line the stocking. So those thread carries, even if they aren't stitched over, are not going to be an issue at all. So we're almost done with this color. Okay, let me see here. That might not be a good place to demonstrate it. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine on when she's stitching. And I think I did I'm pretty sure I did a video on this before. But there are times when she gets, I'm not zoomed in enough to show you. Maybe I can do it. Let's try. Am I at the, okay, here we go. Oops. There we go. Oops. Okay. There are times when one of her legs of her stitches And I'll try and do it here. Say we're going to cross this X. Okay. And now we have to go up here to stitch. Is that, oops, sorry, that was my head. There, now we have to go up here. If I do that, what happens is this leg, and I don't know if you can see it very well. There. This leg will look longer in the square. Okay. Well, more so if instead of coming up there, we come up here. Can you see how that is a bit longer? And what you want to do, because that makes your stitching look uneven, what you want to do is avoid that. So in order to not have that happen, okay, so if normally this is the direction I stitch this leg of the X, is from the bottom right to the top left, but I know I'm going to be stitching up here. What I would want to do is reverse that and stitch that last stitch from the top left to the bottom right, because then I'm not going to get that long stitch here. See, if I go here, because now I'm going down here, so I'm pulling up to here, and there's no way that can elongate. And there's no way this one will either, because it's not going in a direction in the back of where it would. You know, the same thing when you go down, and this area is all the same color, so I'm not worried about doing it this way. When you go down, okay, if I go down in this corner, but I want to come up, and I come up in this corner, because that's where I start my first leg, again, the same thing happens. Okay? Same thing happens. That gets longer. So instead of completing the X from the top to the bottom, I would just reverse the direction in which I complete that leg, and I would stitch it from the bottom to the top. And again, then I'm pulling away from where I want to go, and then I can come up here, and I'm not going to get that long leg. So I hope, Tori, if you're watching this, I hope that explains a little bit more of how you can avoid that. So as you're completing an X, if you think about the path that you are going to take, and when you're stitching, look 2 steps ahead of where you are. Okay, so I know I have to go here, but I went down here. I'm going to come up here, so I'm not going to get a long leg there. So you want to come up in a manner that you're not pulling your thread in a straight line. You're able to either angle it or go completely the other direction. So when you're stitching, ask yourself, okay, I'm putting my needle down here. Where's my next X going to be? Oh, wait, it's going to be right there. Or, most times if you're completing one X at a time and you're doing this of going across the row, at that point, it's not going to be the issue. However, if you're, say, at the end of the row and you need to jump up or down, then think about what direction do I need to do that top leg in order to avoid that long stitch in the corner of the block. So when you think about it, yes, cross-stitching is the matter of just making X's. And it's really pretty simple. You're just making X's. But when you want to get into, okay, I want my X's, and I do like my X's to be perfect. They're not all perfect. But we strive, not all of us, and again, everybody's criteria for what makes them happy is different. But there are those of us that want it to be the best that we can be, and then you start getting picky about things. Because, oh, that X doesn't look quite right. Let me try and fix that. Or I don't like the way that crossed. Let me try and fix that. Or, ooh, what was I thinking when I stitched that? Let me rip that all out and redo it. Part of that was, oh well, some of that is why Fred got put away for a while, because I really wasn't happy with my stitching. And I really didn't want to rip out a whole bunch of stuff, because I really would have had to. And I really didn't want to start over. But there are places in here where I look at it and think, oh, good Lord, Karen, what were you doing? But it has been so long, and I really want to have this finished, that through some discussion with some of my subscribers, I came to the conclusion that, you know what, it is what it is. Till it's washed and pressed, you probably won't even notice those bits that I'm not happy with. That might even help straighten it out. So let's just finish it and get it made into a stocking and have it ready for this Christmas. So that's what we're doing. And my daughter will still love it, and she will always have it to say, my mom made that for me. And I still have one more to do, and that one would be for my son-in-law. And that is probably going to be my next video. I have not done a video on actually starting a project for a very long time. And starting a Heaven and Earth design for a very long time. And I really do think I want to stitch that one on the diagonal the way I did back when I stitched Stitcher's Retreat. And I have not demonstrated that for several years. So I thought, okay, this would be a good time to revisit that and do another one and incorporate some of the things that over time we've learned and could maybe do differently than what that initial video was. And oops, why did I do that? Because that's been a long time. That was Stitcher's Retreat was my very first full coverage piece. Yeah. So from the time I did that until today, there are many things that may be different about the way I stitch, or the techniques that I use when I stitch, or how I start a thread, or how I end a thread, or all of those things. So I thought, okay, this will be it would be good to do that video again. Okay, let's do an update from, okay, am I getting my head in the way here or something? All right, now I'm going to see if I can scooch it. There we go, back out again. And I think we have to go over here. This is not too bad stitching this way. As long as you can hear me. I can't see how long I've been on. So I'm just gonna keep going until I can not think of something to ramble about anymore. Oh my. Because we all know I could sit here and I should have wrote down the time when I started this, but would I have thought of that when I started? Certainly not. Certainly not. That would have absolutely made sense. And if you have been around here long enough, you will already know that why would Karen think of that ahead of time? No. Would she come up with lots of bloopers? Oh my Lord, yes. And we keep all those bloopers in the videos. Because this is, I always tell people, isn't that the beauty of this channel? You just never know. You never ever know what's going to happen. It's always, ooh, I don't like that. Put my magnifiers back down. It's always something different. Don't want to get my head in your way. Yeah, you just never know what to expect. And I joke with folks that that's why people keep coming back, because it's okay. What kind of nonsense is Karen going to do this time? What kind of goof is she going to have this time? Is there going to be technical issues in her video this time? Because you just never know. And it keeps me guessing, so I am sure that it certainly would keep you guessing too. But isn't that the beauty of some channels, that you always kind of look forward to? I mean, I have channels that I look forward to that you just don't quite know what's going to happen, and it's just fun to watch. Speaking of, I just saw yesterday a gal that what was her channel name? I want to say Honey Berry Stitching. Something very close to that. And she hasn't done a video. I had shouted out her channel before, and then she had not done a video for a very long time. And I just happened to be thinking about her the other day and wondering where she got to, and was she ever gonna do a video again? And then sometimes what I'll do is I'll go on YouTube and put the recommended videos on, so that they just play all of them. That way I don't have to keep flipping around. I'll just set it up and let it play. And darn, didn't she show up. But the channel name was different. And she explained why she changed the channel name. And her name is Mariana. Lovely lady. Lovely lady. So her channel name is now Molly Maid. And there was a reason she picked that name. So, go give her some love. She showed a lot of the projects that she's been working on while she's been away. Yeah, very nice video. Very well done. I thought it was well done. It kept my interest. I was interested in hearing, what she's been up to and looking at what she's been stitching. She does a variety of things, but she does do a fair amount of full coverage pieces. So for those of you who like to see the full coverage stitching, you would see that there. She also does some other pieces. So there's some variety. So go check her out. Molly Maid is the name of the website. Yeah. Okay. Now, let's see. Soon. Let's see. I think I have one more spot to skip to. Oh, where is it? Oh, it's all the way down there. 4, 6, 8. The last 9 stitches of this color. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Make my day. And look, it's all the way back down here where I was before. So here's what we're going to do here. We're going to go in here and do a pin stitch. To end this thread. And part of the trick, I like to do a pin stitch with the sharper needle and not a ballpoint needle, because part of what helps it hold is piercing your working thread. So just keep that in mind. Okay, now here is where I want to be. And these will be the last 9 stitches of this color. So that's a good thing. Now we have another color completed, and we have 4 more to go. Now I am not a big wanna stitch by color throughout the whole design, because that just gives me the heebie-jeebies, because I'm afraid, what if I have, okay, so what if, here's my scenario. Instead of taking the color with the most stitches to give me a base to work off of, because I like to keep the most stitches for the very end to, well, I don't stitch that way, but in my head, I would think you'd want to keep the most stitches to the very end so that it would cover any of your thread carries or other things that you would want to be stitched over. So if I was to do that, I think my first color to put in would be a color that is on the high end of the middle as far as number of stitches to complete. That way I would get a fairly good base of stitches to work off of, and I would still have my stitches with the higher number to cover up all the things. But after I stitched that first color, then I would want to go down and start with the color that has the least number of stitches and work up towards the most number of stitches. And that's where I get the heebie-jeebies, because then my head goes, but what if, even though it's gridded, what if you stitch that stitch at the wrong spot? Okay. Okay, so when we're doing that middle of the road color, what if I put that in the wrong place? And I know that I'm going to use that foundation of color to work off of to complete my other stitches. So if I put that color at the wrong place and I work off of that color in placing my other stitches, how much of my chart is going to be all not correct? So that's my biggest fear with stitching extreme cross country. It's like I can't get past it. But I can live with doing it in sections. And this is a rather big section, but it's the last section to finish. So now that color, 3840, is now complete. So now our next color, we have 4 colors left. 4 colors left. This next one has 332 stitches to do. So, how long have I been on here? I can't see that far. Probably around an hour. Let me switch to my other glasses. Maybe I can see then. I'm looking halfway across. It's been 52 minutes. So, rather than keep you guys for forever, although I do enjoy chatting, I think I will end this here and do some editing and get it back up or put it up on YouTube for your viewing pleasure. But I'd like to say thank you for hanging out with me while I finish that color. And let's see how many stitches we did in this hour, because I have not started. I did not start stitching until I started recording. So in this hour, 185 stitches. That really is not too shabby. That really is pretty good. And we still have 3,096 stitches to go. But till the end of today, I hope to have that changed. I hope to get one more color done today, because it is only noontime. So I could conceivably get another color finished, especially since we like to watch the NASCAR race, and they're in Indianapolis today. And if I take this over, take my stand and all my stuff over into the living room and stitch during that race, I can probably get another color done today. So that would be those 300 and some stitches, which would make my daily total absolutely, positively the bomb. So, my friends, I think I will bid you farewell. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for being part of Fred's journey, and I will see you in the next video. Have a great rest of your weekend. Until next time, happy stitching.